Obi-Wan Kenobi has faced much criticism since it aired, but the show has made things right in the finale, with some seriously compelling Star Wars action and a battle worthy of our saber-wielding protagonist and an antagonist we've been waiting to see in battle. Without further delay, let's dive right into the finale and what went down in the final episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi. First, let's talk about where Episode 5 left us. In the 5th episode, Ben and company barely escaped with their lives from Jabin, avoiding a run-in with the Dark Lord. Reva, however, wasn't as lucky. After a tense battle, at the end of which she was left to die, the former third sister brushed off her extensive injuries and also focused on the mission, finding out Luke's whereabouts on Tatooine. Now, let's talk about the finale. Moving on to the events of the last episode, let's take this step by step, since there was quite a lot to cover, what with battles raging side by side and lightsabers buzzing all around. Worth every second though, starting with the events of Tatooine. Back under the glare of Tatooine's twin suns, people stand in a queue waiting for water. A burlish man breaks the line, but his cup is knocked away by Reva, who inquires about a farmer named Owen. Cut to Obi-Wan's transport. The last episode saw Obi-Wan and his crew trying to escape the Devastator, which was giving chase. They made it out safely, with the Devastator seemingly forgetting to employ all of their weapons and missing the transport right in their sights, which leads us aboard the Devastator. The Dark Lord strides down the bridge and orders his pilot to increase firepower, but Obi-Wan's hyperdrive motivator comes in clutch. But the motivator is damaged and the shields are about to be breached, which leads to an epic battle. The events that transpired lead us onto a nearby planet where Obi-Wan's shuttle lands first and he gets off, takes off his cloak, and gets ready to battle. The Devastator lands soon after, in a super cool shot by the way, right out of the mist like a black shark, and out comes Darth Vader, ready to face his old master alone. The two have an exchange filled with dialogues, both iconic and new, and then the battle begins. Rocks, shockwaves, the Force, and plain old lightsaber pairing all play a role in the battle between master and student. It ends with Vader wheezing, defeated, and on his knees as Obi-Wan walks away, victorious but broken. On the other side, Reva catches up to Owen on the Lars homestead and confronts Owen and Beru, who fire a barrage of blaster bolts at the Dark Jedi, which she counters with her lightsaber. Both are no match for the ex-Inquisitor, who, even wounded and in pain, bests them and follows an escaping Luke to a nearby canyon. She corners the child, who trips and falls unconscious, but as she stands above him with her saber ignited, she's reminded of Darth Vader killing her youngling peers. The devastating memory gives her a change of heart, and she returns Luke to his uncle and aunt, unconscious but unharmed. Thank God. Spiritual meetings. Wounded, defeated, but back in his fortress, Vader assures his new master, a hologram of Emperor Palpatine, that his loyalty lies with the latter only. Speaking of holographic meetings, after making an introduction with Luke, which had us screaming just by the way, Obi-Wan is visited by the spirit of Qui-Gon Jinn, who assures him that he's always been there, but it is only now that Obi-Wan is ready to see him. But you've got to admit, it was the best episode of the series. The entire series has had moments where we didn't necessarily agree with the character's actions, but the ending justifies the means, and this finale episode was definitely all about Darth Vader. The series handled Vader beautifully, especially the final battle. Vader has been at the heart of some of the most important moments in the Star Wars franchise, and seeing Obi-Wan beat him a second time has added the finale to the list. With Darth Vader's defeated form still pledging allegiance to the ruthless Emperor, we understand Obi-Wan's decision to move away from the Lars homestead. Add on Qui-Gon Jinn's appearance and that message, and we have a finale that ties everything up in a neat little package. We love it. Following The Mandalorian and The Last Jedi, Obi-Wan Kenobi had some big shoes to fill, and it did not disappoint, especially considering how the Star Wars franchise has set the stage for TV shows that are on par with the grandeur of the original trilogy. All we can say is, if you see us revisiting this episode time and again, just look the other way. Now that we're done with Obi-Wan Kenobi, let's discuss some other news regarding broken records, trailer drops, and exposed secrets. On with it. Let's start with the Hocus Pocus trailer drop on Disney+. 3 decades have passed, but we finally got a sequel for Hocus Pocus. The trailer begins by saying, It's been 29 years since someone lit the black flame candle. Hui screamed, by the way. The anticipated Season 2 of the 1993 film will drop on September 30th, and the first look came to the streaming site on Tuesday. Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy are back to reprise their iconic roles as Winifred, Sarah, and Mary, respectively. The iconic trio are back to mixing magic, horror, and comedy on their quest to steal souls of kids from Salem, and this time they were brought back by a couple of twins who burned the magical black candle to complete a birthday ritual. The cast also includes Belisa Escobedo and Whitney Peak, taking on the roles of the twin sisters who summoned the witches back. Lilia Buckingham, Froilan Gutierrez, Hannah Waddingham, and Doug Jones will also be joining them on screen, according to a press release. The sequel has been a long time coming, and fans of the original are awaiting Hocus Pocus 2 with bated breath, us included. Moving on to Doctor Strange breaking Disney Plus records. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was a phenomenal film, there's no denying it. The film did crazy business when it came out, and now it's breaking records on Disney Plus. Whether audiences are heading back to check out John Krasinski's Reed Richards, or to see Wanda Maximoff being a multiversal badass, whatever it is, it's increasing traffic, and the streaming platform has some pretty interesting stats to show for it. The film was watched in 2.1 million US households within the first 5 days of its release. This puts the Benedict Cumberbatch ahead of all of its fellow MCU releases, dethroning Eternals, which held the crown for views in 2 million US households within a similar time frame. This isn't the first record the film has broken, however. Previously, it broke the record for being the first MCU film released in the UK with an age rating of 14+, and judging by the carnage Wanda left behind, it was necessary. Speaking of carnage, the film has laid waste to all viewership records for Marvel films across the streaming platform. And lastly, fans have caught on to a surprise cameo in Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel fans have caught on to a little detail in the end credits roll, and can we just say we're impressed at the dedication. The show has been receiving critical acclaim for bringing to the forefront of a Marvel miniseries Muslim representation and South Asian culture, something that has never been explored before in Western media. Add that to the fact that the main protagonist is a teenager who is a serious Marvel fan and ends up a superhero herself. The show screams relatable, which is probably why it has been receiving so much praise, even though only 4 episodes are out so far. Which brings us to our point. At the end of the 4th episode, at the 45-minute, 29-second mark, Chris Malone's name pops up, and he's listed as makeup artist to Miss Steinfeld. Now, Marvel fans immediately noticed that Miss Steinfeld, Haley Steinfeld, played Kate Bishop in the latest Hawkeye series. She's also got her own series coming soon on the streaming platform, and it seems like we can expect her to make a cameo appearance in Miss Marvel too, sometime in the near future. The tidbit doesn't really come as news to those who have read the comics, since according to canon, Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, goes to lead her own team of superheroes called Young Avengers, and Kate Bishop is a part of them, along with many other young heroes. So it could be a technical error, or we could be seeing the duo having their first meeting on screen soon, and we're betting on the latter. That's a wrap for this video. Did you enjoy the ending of Obi-Wan Kenobi? Did it live up to your expectations? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.